All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever had that feeling where you're just stuck with your English? I mean, you're putting in the work, you're studying, but that smooth, natural fluency just always feels out of reach? It is so frustrating, and it's a super common problem. But today, we're going to talk about the one simple, overlooked key that might just change everything.
So, to really understand this, let me tell you about a student named Rahul. And his story, well, I have a feeling it's going to sound very, very familiar to a lot of you. He was sitting in class one day just looking totally defeated, and his teacher noticed something was up.
And this, right here, was Rahul's problem. He just laid it all out there for his teacher, saying what so many of us feel. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do, but when it comes to actually speaking, nothing. It's not working. What am I missing?
And look, you have to admire the effort. Reading books, practicing his writing, drilling grammar rules, even talking to himself in the mirror. I mean, these are all the classic methods we're told to use. Rahul was working hard, no doubt about it, but he was just spinning his wheels and hitting a wall.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting. The teacher looked at everything Rahul was doing and he just smiled. He knew exactly what the missing piece of the puzzle was.
Now, the first thing the teacher did was really smart. He didn't say, "You're doing it all wrong." He said, "Hey, you're doing a lot of great things. All that reading and writing, it wasn't a waste of time, but it was incomplete. The solution wasn't to add more work, it was to add the right kind of work."
And then he asked the big question. What was the one massive piece that was missing? The one thing that holds everything else together and was keeping Rahul from speaking the way he wanted to.
And bam, there it was. Listening. The answer was listening. But here's the key. It's not just about listening to understand. It's about listening to train your brain to speak. The teacher explained it like this. If your brain never hears the real sounds of English, how can you expect your mouth to produce them? Listening is the input you need to get the output you want.
And to make this idea super clear, the teacher used the perfect analogy, one that we can all instantly understand. Just think about how a tiny baby learns to talk. It's a completely different method than how we usually try to learn a new language.
I mean, just look at the difference. On one side, you have our normal school method, right? Grammar books, memorizing rules, writing things out, very academic. But on the other side, you have the natural way a baby learns. What do? They just listen all day, every day. They're not studying, they're just absorbing the sounds, the rhythm, the patterns around them.
And the process is so logical when you think about it. First, for months, all a baby does is listen. Their brain is working silently in the background, making connections. Then, finally, one little word pops out, then maybe another. And then, before you know it, they're speaking in full sentences, you see? Speaking is the very last step. It's the result of all that listening.
And what are they listening to? Not complicated lectures. They're hearing simple, useful phrases over and over and over again. Come here, eat this, good boy. It's this constant repetition of the basics that builds that strong foundation in their brain.
So, okay, that's great for babies, but how do we actually apply this as adults? Well, this is the best part. The teacher gave Rahul a simple, totally doable plan to start using this forgotten skill.
And here's the entire mission, right here. Your goal is just to make your ears hear English every single day. That's it. We're not talking about hours of intense study. We're talking about a small, consistent habit of letting the sounds of English wash over you.
Because when you do this, some really cool things start to happen. Your brain automatically learns the correct sounds and pronunciation. You start to absorb the natural rhythm of the language, the way people really talk. And as your brain gets more comfortable, you know what happens? Your confidence goes way up. Speaking starts to feel less like a difficult math problem and more like something that just happens.
Of course, it's one thing to say, go listen to English, but what should you listen to? The teacher didn't just give advice. He gave Rahul a specific, practical tool to get started right away. He recommended a YouTube channel called English Waves. It's designed for exactly this kind of practice, so you don't have to waste time searching for the perfect material.
And here's why it works so well. The whole channel is just for listening. It has these stories called graded readers, which basically just means they use simple English that's easy to understand. And most important of all, the audio is slow and really clear. It's perfect for letting your brain catch every sound without getting overwhelmed. It's the ideal place to start building that daily habit.
So really, the big takeaway is this. We have to change how we think about listening. It's not just some small passive skill. It is the absolute foundation that all of your speaking is built on. Without that strong foundation, you're always going to feel a little shaky.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Forget about all the complicated grammar books for a minute. Just ask yourself, what could happen if you just committed to 15 minutes of simple listening every day? Just 15 minutes. What could that one small change unlock for you?